Hi YouTube, this is Doris Renee coming to you again with another video. I'm excited about Tap Into Power TV. I admit that I've been away for a minute, and you know why if you watched the Juggle Struggle, which was my last video. Today I want to talk about what happens when you fail. What happens when things don't go your way, and what happens when you put yourself out there and nobody receives you. Alright, this is Doris Renee, and let's get started. So, I will be the first one to admit that getting a business off the ground is extremely hard. I am one who started off doing work in the natural hair community just simply because I enjoyed learning about natural hair and I wanted to connect with other women with natural hair. So I started this group less than 3 years ago, and now we are at almost 800 members. But this has been a labor of love and a labor of pain the entire way, and I'll talk to you about why that is. The truth of the matter is that you're never sure when you're putting yourself out there if anybody's going to get you. As a matter of fact, I've said several times at my workshops in the city of Indianapolis that when I put on my very first event, I wasn't sure if anybody was going to show up. I even invited my sister to come along with me so that if nobody showed up, we would just call it a day. We'd hang out, have some cupcakes, and move on. But the truth is that every time I put on an event, and we've done over 34 events at this point, I feel humbled and confident all over again. I feel assured. I feel that I'm doing the right thing. But that doesn't mean that I'm always successful. As a matter of fact, this type of thing takes money. And as all of you entrepreneurs know, it takes money to make money, for sure. But there have been times, and I put on events where at the end of the day, when I went back home and looked at my bank account, I thought, no, there's no way I can keep doing this. And I want to talk to you about those times. I want to talk to you about when you are feeling like you are all alone and you're on the wrong path. Okay, so here's the thing. I looked up at my profit and loss statement a few months ago, just being transparent, and was just shocked at the amount of money I was in the hole. And I took a couple weeks where I just kind of went off the grid and didn't talk to anybody really about it because I was really doing some soul searching. Really, I was at the time where I was feeling like I should just stop this and go a different way. And I know a lot of you feel that way, and I know it comes quite often. But I'll tell you what I did, and hopefully it will help you the next time you get into this space where you're not sure you're doing the right thing. You are pouring a lot into your venture, your projects, and you're not getting the return on your investment the way you expect it to. The first thing I did when I got in this rut a few months ago was I did an assessment. And I'll tell you, as goofy as it sounds, I literally made a list. I took out this notebook that I carry with me everywhere I go, and I made a list of all the things that I had accomplished. And it was things like, you know, giving opportunities to other small business owners who were my vendors and business partners. And I sat there and thought about the number of connections that they were able to make as a result of being in a room full of the attendees that I invited and attracted. I wrote things like I brought together a team around a common goal. So I use volunteers, and I have a leadership team that helps me put on these events. And in some cases, we work on events for months and months and months ahead of time. And I thought about the amount of work that we were able to accomplish, the number of people who were exploring new skill sets that they may not have had an opportunity to explore. I thought about the growth and development of each of us as individuals, and I took credit for that. So the list goes on, but I made this list because I needed some assurance. I needed to know that what I was doing wasn't in vain. And no, it didn't show up in ticket sales, and it did not show up in profits, but I made this list because there was another way to evaluate success. So that's number one. Figure out another way to evaluate success. Assess your project. Assess where you are overall. Are you being of help? Are you moving along in your cause? Are people growing as a result of what you do? The second thing I had to do was, going back to the Bible verse, encourage myself. So, there are times when you share where you are in your business with people, and then there are times when you don't necessarily share. And it's during those times that you've really got to get a hold of how to encourage yourself, how to pat yourself on the back, how to motivate yourself to move forward despite what things may look like on paper. That is something that takes some skill. That is something that takes some practice, but you absolutely have to learn how to do that, because in business, whether you have a partner or not, sometimes you can feel really alone, especially if you're the one who's pouring into the vision for this business. And then the third thing I'll share is that you got to just go back in there. I remember the very first time I got in a car accident. I had just gotten my driver's license, and I was freaked out. I probably wasn't even 5 minutes away from my dad's house, but I was out. I was driving on my own by myself. I got in this car accident. It was nothing major, a super minor fender bender. I don't think either party got any damage to their car, but I remember my father's reaction more than anything. When I got back into the house and I pulled into that driveway and I told my dad what I had done, he immediately made me get back in the car and drive to the store. I was devastated. I wanted to cry. I wanted to curl up in a ball. I wanted to, run and jump on the couch and just sit and stew for the rest of the day. But he immediately put more money in my hands. And he made me get behind the wheel of that car, and he made me go back to the store, which was my original task. And he made me finish what I started. And I know now what the benefits were. At the time, I thought he was super crazy and really inconsiderate. But the point was that he made me go back in there. He made me do that to get over fear. And there were so many other life lessons that came out of that. But the point for this video is that you have to go back in there. You have to do what you are called to do, and you know when you're called to do it. There are people that are waiting for you. There are people that need you, and they will not get to where they need to go if you're not doing what it is you are supposed to do. So go back in there. All right, so this is Doris Renee again signing off. Tap Into Your Power TV is really coming along. I've got some guests coming up, and so I thank you for coming along on this ride with me. Please subscribe if you haven't. If you know someone who needs this video, please share it, because I really want to get this message out there. You are not alone in the fact that we fail and we have to keep moving, okay? So now you know what to do. You've got to do these things and then share what you know with the people that are going through the same thing, okay? All right, you can feel free to follow me on social media. I'm all over the place. I'll leave all of the information in the description box. Thank you for spending some time with me, and tap into your power, all right? Take care. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.